What up, YouTube? Knowledge is self-determination. So, I was supposed to make this video last night, but I wasn't at my computer. I was on my phone, and I wanted to actually have some visuals for you guys so you can know what to look for. This is Advice Show, as you can see down here. And this is the second instance of them reporting on a Baltimore cop planting drugs on a Baltimore resident. Now, this row of houses right here looks really familiar, like really familiar. I'm not sure exactly where this happened, but that's a very familiar looking row of houses. But and as you guys know, I am from Baltimore. But Baltimore police are very corrupt. Now, where's the first video at? Baltimore City police are very corrupt. Here's the first video right here. This video was done 2 weeks ago with this cop stashing some drugs in what looks to be a soda can. Now, they also did a video here. Former Baltimore detective reveal corruption and abuse for reporting police brutality. So the Baltimore City Police Department is full of corruption. Not all cops are bad. I am not here to say that. I know that they are good cops. I know that there are people with integrity and a high moral fiber who become police officers because they think they can actually do some good. Totally agree. But what we see more often than not are injustices delivered upon black people by white police officers. And in Baltimore, and you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who disagree with me, but we believe that most of the white cops in Baltimore, I would say, just to shoot low, I would say 85% of the white cops in Baltimore City Police and possibly in the state of Maryland are white supremacists and possibly Klan. And yes, the Klan is alive and well in Baltimore, in the state of Maryland. It is alive and well. And if you don't believe it, then you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But, I mean, there's so many stories. I mean, my cousin has a story about cops taking weed from some white boys they found in the park that they didn't lock up, mind you, and planted on him and one of his homeboys so that they can lock them up. And because they both had a couple of $100s in their pockets at the time, of course the cops took that. And yes, the cops in Baltimore, they rob dudes. They'll rob you. And they extort drug dealers. They play drug dealers off against each other. They do all kinds of cruddy, messed up stuff, I'm telling you. And I've seen, I'm not going to drop many names, but I have seen congressmen in particular, going into the VIP lounge at a certain strip club that was very, very popular in Baltimore, on Baltimore Street. I'm not going to drop many names. If you're from Baltimore, you know that very popular strip club that used to be at the top of Baltimore Street, right by where the convention center is. It used to be about a half a block up from there. If you guys are from Baltimore, you know Baltimore, you know the club I'm talking about. But anyway, in the neighborhood that I'm from, there was a squad of cops that we used to call the beat up boys, because that's what they did. If it didn't matter how old you are, if you were outside, and because we used to hang out real late in the summertime, because it wasn't so bad that you couldn't do that. I mean, it was dangerous, but how can I say? It was dangerous, but it was the projects, and I didn't have a whole lot of parental guidance at the time. So yeah, man, they were chasers. They would jump out their cars and chase. If they caught you, they beat the crap out of you and took you and left you down by the hospital, right? Because the hospital was right on the water, so they leave you down on the docks. And if you can get to the hospital, you can. If you can't, you lay there and pass out or whatever. But yeah, they do that kind of stuff. Put you in the back of the car in handcuffs. Like on the what was the movie? Was it Menace to Society? When they no, I'm sorry, Boys in the Hood, where they had Cuba Gooding Jr. and what's the other kid in the backseat of the car, and they were jabbing them with the nightsticks and stuff. Yeah, that kind of shit actually happens, and that happened on the other side of the country in the West Coast, where the movie was depicting scenes or depicting possible reality for kids on the West Coast, and I wouldn't have any doubt in my mind that happened to kids on the West Coast either. But all I'm saying is police in Baltimore City are corrupt. They're dirty. They've been planting drugs on people for fucking years. You know what I'm saying? Cops have spoken out about these kinds of things and have been ostracized and ran out of the city. Now I don't know if it's this cop in particular, but I know that there was one cop in particular who got ran out of the city for exposing the corruption in the police department, leaving dead rats on his wife's car and stuff like that. You know, I mean, now you're there to serve justice, but when you actually try to serve justice, you get ostracized and you get your life threatened. This man had to uproot his family and move to a completely different state. I'm not gonna say where. It's for that man to talk about that. But there have been plenty of cops who have come out and spoke. Well, I wouldn't say plenty, but as far as I know, two. But I just wanted to just chime in on that, man, because Baltimore is the city where I was born and raised, you know, and this affects me because I still have my people are still there, you know. I still have young people in my family who may not be running the streets, so to speak. And when I say running the streets, I mean, you know, engaged in, you know, drug activities and things like that. But they're still young and they're black males and they're still susceptible to being profiled and racially have racial bias enacted towards them from the police over there. It happens a lot, man. It happens. I mean, like they'll have female cops strip searching males on public streets, mind you, taking down your pants and your drawers and stuff. Female cops. Now, if you guys know anything about police etiquette, male cops are not supposed to search female citizens, and female cops are not supposed to search male citizens. I mean, they do. Oh, man, it's just dirty and corrupt. And I seriously hope that some light is shed on this. And one last thing, and like in the Freddie Gray situation. Now, I heard that and this is I got this information from Dr. Umar. I don't know. Now, it is alleged that the situation in the Freddie Gray case, when he said that the kids in Baltimore were planning to loot the mall, it was Mondawmin Mall. Mondawmin Mall is in West Baltimore. What Mondawmin is what street is that? What street is that? Is that still Pennsylvania Avenue that high up? It is by Druid Hill Park, and it is also a subway station and a bus hub where, you know, a lot of the buses that go out into the city, you know, it is a hub for a lot of those buses, you know, that travel all over the city. Not all the buses, but but some of them. And there's a subway station. So, and also Douglas High School is right behind the mall, and and I believe Douglas High School is partnered up with not Morgan State. Is it Morgan State? Don't quote me on that, but they're partnered up, so they have like facilities and stuff. Like there's a lot going on in that area. These kids leave Douglas High School and they go over to the subway station, you know, so they can catch the train or the buses home. Now, that's the reason why there were so many teenagers there, because it was right after school. There are a couple of schools in that. There's a few schools in that area, some elementary schools, some middle schools. But they hemmed all these kids up and said they caught a text off of one phone that said, "Oh yeah, we were going to meet up here and raid the mall or whatever." Now, typically in situations like that, they'll tell you who the person was that sent the text out, because you can reverse trace an IP address. If they can pull that text out of the ether, then they can find out whose phone it came from. They would have had no problems pressing charges on the individual who actually did that, because that's against the law. Inciting a riot, that's something you can get locked up for and have charges pressed against you. But they didn't do that, right? So look at how they spin stories. These kids met up at the mall so they can loot the mall, when in actuality, they were getting out of school. They were going to their designated buses and to the train so they can get home. They weren't plotting anything. There are a lot of kids up there, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There are a lot of kids in that area. One, it is a neighborhood that is populated with people, first and foremost. Secondly, there are schools in the area. These kids didn't meet up so they can loot that mall, because they always have cops outside the mall when school is out. The cops are always patrolling. They have a police substation at the subway station, right? Man, come on. It's all bullshit. This is more. I'm just giving you guys this example just to give you more detail on how corrupt and shitty these cops are. But check out these videos by Phil from the Advice Show. This one here is the latest. As you can see, it was done a day ago. And it's just highlighting more of the injustices that black people continue to be subject to thanks to Baltimore City Police. But I'm out, guys. Like, learn, subscribe. Peace.